Dogs Old Country Style Root Beer from Route 101, Marlborough, New Hampshire.
Welcome back to another episode, part of the series focused on Wally, who's actually sitting in the garage over there. But this is his buddy. This is the parts truck that I've talked about before. I've also talked about it, or described it as a Doodlebug, which apparently I'm not allowed to do anymore because I said it a little too much in some of the previous videos or footage and at home. Doodlebug, Doodlebug, Doodlebug.
Doodlebug, 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 Doodlebug.
So can't call it that anymore, but we are calling it Rusty Bob, or Rusty Bobby. That's what Cal came up with. So this is Rusty Bobby. He is not permanent, he is temporary, but he holds a lot of good parts that we're gonna try to get out of him before we send him on his way. And although I'm not allowed to call him the D word, that is what he is by definition. Those are actually insects. They're an antlion, apparently pretty voracious predator that eats ants, but also referred to as post-World War II vehicles that were kind of cobbled together inexpensively to serve a purpose. And this is actually a good example. So someone shortened the frame, shortened the drive shaft, and made it a dedicated plow truck. So it has a hydraulic PTO, it's got the plow attachment for it, which I'm not planning on doing, but apparently the last couple years it was actually used to plow. It is a International L130, which is a 1-ton pickup. You can see the 130 here, and that's why it's got the dualies on the back. So it'd be equivalent to like an F350 or a Chevy 3500 nowadays. But it does actually have the same engine, as far as I can tell, than Wally. It's got a what's called a Silver Diamond 220, and I believe the same 4-speed behind it, which is nice. I'm planning on taking some of the parts from here, and I already have. So the next episode, which is Will It Run Part 2, is already in progress. So I've got the carb off and in the garage and on Wally already. I mean, it's just complete and it's been running, so which is great. It's also got some cool other parts, which I'm planning on using for Wally, like the front emblem. Although it's different because this one is lit, or supposed to be lit, and the one on Wally that doesn't exist didn't actually have provisions for a light. So any of you L series aficionados, not sure if that was like a heavier duty option where you get the light in the front or not, but we'll plan on using that. It's got glass, which is great, driver's side, passenger side, so I'm definitely going to take that. The inside's actually not too bad. Does have rust, which you can kind of see was already cut out there. The floors have been replaced. Someone riveted in some galvanized sheet metal there. The dash is actually really nice and complete. So I'm either gonna take the ashtray, the buttons, the components off of here and put it in Wally, or actually take the whole dash out and swap it out. It's also got a killer suicide knob here, which I love, and a turn signal stalk. So plenty of stuff that I'm gonna be able to take, including the seat. And that's one thing I am gonna do today. I'm gonna pull this out real quick and bring it to my dad's house so he can have 2 seats to work with to try to make one good one. So overall, in my opinion, not a great candidate for restoration or even what I'm trying to do with Wally of a patina truck. But if you are interested in parts from here that I'm not going to use, throw me a comment or something and let me know, and happy to arrange something. This is a short episode. I'm just going to take the seat out real quick, and then I will go through the parts that we already took out real quick just to show what we're going to try to save. A lot of acorns. There's a lot of acorns in the seat too, but it was a nice home. Actually, this is one difference. There's a gas tank here, mounted where the gas tank in Wally is kind of under there. We're back in the garage, and I just wanted to show a couple of parts that we're definitely saving from Rusty Bobby. We got a side view mirror, which should help. We're missing some mirror on that one. Maybe I can pop that one in. We got an air filter. We've got a push rod cover seal, which looks brand new. We've got some brake parts. We've got brake shoes that hopefully will fit Wally. We've got some kind of generic brake lines, hydraulic brake lines there. We've got a card that shows that Rusty Bobby's oil filter was recently changed. Good to know the part number for when we do Wally. And some additional parts here, some that are for the plow, hydraulic cylinders, and some other stuff that I probably won't hold on to. Drive shaft, which I showed. I don't know if that was the original one that was replaced by that cut down one that I showed. But that box there is pretty important. It's got some cool brackets, some latches and hinges and lights that you can see that I'm going to hold on to. Not sure if I'm going to use any of them, but they're always good to have some spare parts. So thankfully, Rusty Bobby over there is definitely helping us. And I'm very thankful that the previous owner, Alan, who you actually saw in the beginning of the video, who was unloading it from the flatbed, kept these 2 together. He did say he had people who were interested just in Wally. He said people were interested in just Rusty Bobby, but he waited for someone to want to take both and see the value in both. So I feel kind of bad that he's sitting out there in the cold and the snow, but the garage here is pretty full, so there's not much room for him, and the priority's on Wally. I am still in the process of Will It Run Part 2 and actually making a lot of progress. So I'm hoping that not too long after this video gets released, the Will It Run Part 2 will get released. So stay tuned for that, and thanks for watching.